What's going on, amazing people? Welcome to another sermon here at the Church of Isness, or religion, or faith, or belief, or program, whatever you like to use. Don't really care. Had to use a name? No better name than Isness. Right, to the point. Today we're just going to go over a couple of little things, which is the foundation of what this faith is, I guess. It's simple. It is really, really simple. Life is a cause and effect of a duality of good and evil, okay? When we say good, it's love. It's the highest vibration. It's positive. It's healthy. It's useful. You make that conscious decision out of enlightenment, not a reactive slavery to evil. You understand? So some of these things are very poignant in this. You evolve by doing this, and this, and not doing that, and that. And that equals what you evolve into. Like every single thing you do, there's a price to pay, and as everything you don't do, there's a price to pay. Even if the thing is good or evil, there will be cause and effect. And the duality is whether it's going to be good or evil. And when you're conscious, you're able to make the choice and set your intentions to the thing being good, the thing being valuable, the thing reaping the rewards of what you sow, and thus having value to thus pay something forwards, and the next moment that you have is going to be a positive one. And you, instead of just guessing and hoping and praying and being lazy and irresponsible with your reality, and thus keeping it in the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, we have put together this program for you so that you cannot use excuses anymore of the victim or poor me or I didn't know. We can evolve and proceed out of the state of I didn't know, and get you into the state of okay, and past the second state, which most people quit, is like now I know that I don't know, and get you okay a little bit further. Come on, let's proceed out of that delusion of I'm going to stay in this delusional state. I'm going to perpetually enable this addiction to slavery, to limiting beliefs, to being less, to being the victim. Do you know what I mean? You're going to finally break free, and we're going to get you into the state of where you do the work. Now, this is as far as when you learn to ride a bike, and your parents or your grandparents, or even if you didn't, it's okay. What happens is they hold you. They run behind you. They've got you. You wobble, you fall, and they've got you. Okay, so we're going to do this until the point of the third stage of learning, is where you actually have to cognitively, consciously go through the steps and do it yourself. Like we use the analogy of driving a car. Like when you're at your third state, you're like, okay, 10 to 2, clutch in, out of handbrake, how to turn it on, indication, slowly let out the clutch and slowly apply the accelerator. You have to be there consciously working on it. This is the stage that we get you to. We will hold you through the I didn't know stage. We will hold you through now you know that you don't know and you want to quit. Okay, well, we'll push you. But this is a stage where we let go of you, okay, and you stop being codependent on us, and you start being the source of your reality. By investing in this very moment right now, this is the meaning, like one of the great things of the word isness. By this very moment right now, what you inject into it by choice or by not making a choice and being unconscious, that is going to be the vibrational frequency which the next moment is created upon. And if you want a good life, it's this moment right here. There is no other. There's no past and there's no future. There is only now. And in now is isness. And what you do in this isness moment, and what you are, what you say, what you think, what you believe and don't, is what is the fabric which is manifested and created in the next. That's the carryover, the momentum. Do you understand? That's the value you are either going to invest into the next moment being the best, or that's going to be the debt that you're going to carry or others are going to have to pay because you're too worthless to not force others to pay the price. You're too much of a coward to pay the price of your own bullshit. And that's what we do. Now, once you're at stage 3, the third stage of learning, there's only 4, and it only takes a certain amount of time, a certain amount of repetitions through cognitive consciousness to build a neurological pathway in your brain. There's the, what is it? The 28 days, I think it is. And it all got to do with how many repetitions you do, how many times you try, how many times you fail and get back up and force rep it, how many times in how much period of time do you do it. You can't say, oh, but I tried, my whole life I tried, but it was only every single New Year's you tried to get healthy. Okay, great, congratulations. You thought about it and cognitively were awakened out of the delusional state of slavery to evil to be conscious enough to be able to see I am unhealthy and I want to make that change, and I just quit. I just drink, or I just keep eating, and you stay in that addiction to slavery, to primitive evil, self-suffering, self-harming, and keeps you worthless. Because nobody with value hurts themselves. Nobody with value would ever self-sabotage themselves. Nobody who loves themselves would hate themselves and hurt themselves. And what we're going to do is we're just going to keep you in that cognitive conscious state where you're going to go slipping in and out of consciousness, and we're just going to keep you there, and then we're going to let you go. And in your third state, we're going to motivate you. We're going to sort of like try and stop you running away. We're not going to stop you. You can keep failing. You can keep running away in delusion, and humanity will stay this primitive, useless piece of shit that it is. Or, after hundreds of thousands of years, you will be the fucking change that humanity needs to go forwards. And we all make that one conscious choice. But the difference between us, elite masters, and the low-life losers is we just consistently make that same choice. And we realize what reality is, and it is now, the present moment. And that which we are in this present moment is that which we'll receive in the next. Because we are literally a momentum. Now, it takes a little bit of effort sometimes to stop the raging river of negativity. And that's what most people never learn. They just fuck themselves over constantly. They never learn to stop the raging river of negativity. You want to go from how many years have you been abusing yourself? How many years have you been neglecting yourself? How many years have you been abusing and neglecting others? How many years have you been a slave to evil and only been literally a regret of reality? Okay? How many years have you been day in, day out, negative, unhealthy, hate, fear, aka all evil? Okay? How many years? And you're going to pretend like you just set yourself up to fail so that you can stay pathetic. Is you try until you quit. How long do you give yourself? Oh, it's too hard, I'm going to stop. It's too hard, I'm going to quit. It's too hard, I'm going to keep going on this bullshit that I'm doing because that's too hard. But destroying my life and every life around me is just so much fucking easier. How worthless are you? So how long until you quit? Not long. Like we'll go back to the great old 3-week experiment. The gym membership and the personal trainers and the life coaches and like you The high season is just before Christmas and a few weeks after New Year's. That's all you got. And the rest of the year, you just fail, consecutively fail. And you want your 1% effort to stop these decades of self-destruction, abusing others, and being a worthless, evil piece of shit, just a slave to misery and commisery. You want that little bit of effort with no momentum just to go dead stop and not to have inertia and keep going. You think you can do that? And it doesn't work, and you just go, oh, it's too hard. I'll never be able to do it. You can't go from going flat out in the wrong way to going flat out in the right way. At some point, you're either going to need to turn or stop. Now, the fact that you don't know where you're going normally means you're just going to float around and just bang into shit and sink and destroy yourself. That's why we use the anchor as our symbol. It is because it is the thing that holds us solid. It is the thing that slows us down. It's the thing that protects us from being a wreck against the rocks. We are connected. Do you understand? God, the universe. We are the symbol of the right way that tethers to this planet, that people can trust in and believe in and follow, that we are here to help you. We're not here to take advantage of you. We're not here to do the work for you. We're only here being the example. Okay? So, we teach you how to stop. Because most people never get to the stage of self-mastery, of stopping doing the thing that they shouldn't be doing. You never get there. You just want too much without doing the work. You want too much without doing the education. You want too much so that you will quit. And the little voice inside your head, the one that betrays you, is saying, oh, well, look, it's not what we want. It's not what we expected. So we'll just might as well go back to the thing that we know. The thing that we're trying to stop, but we keep going back to it. We listen to the little evil voice that's betraying you. Why would you listen to that? Because it's too hard to do the right thing and so easy to do the wrong thing? Well, how about we learn a little trick, learning how to stop? Because you're not going to be very good at driving a car if you don't know how to stop the car. You're not going to get anywhere except into an accident. And that's where we say be before and after the wave. There's all these little analogies pointing to the isness of this present moment. So trying to go from a negative spiral of slavery to evil to a positive ascension without doing any transition, but just you can't. Learn how to tame your river of negativity, how to tame the fear, how to tame the panic, how to tame the hate, how to tame the anger. Inner peace, the self-mastery ability to go from any state to isness, to at peace. Just still, it doesn't have to be a reward-based sensory. Like, you don't have to be a junkie to get what you want, so to be happy. You don't have to get a reward to be a good person. You don't have to get to give. This is only the state of mind of a worthless human being. We get to the place within ourselves that we are in neutral, at peace. So it doesn't matter if, like the Dalai Lama, that he was asked, how are you so happy? How are you such at this mastery? Is it because of your meditation? Is it because of all these different things? He said, no. I know this too will change. I know this too will change. Let's dissect this. knowing that the positives and the happies and getting what you want and everything being the way that you want will change. And the negatives and the unhappies and the people and the situations and the scenarios and the circumstances will change. It will all change. But us elite masters doesn't change. Our emotion isn't, and our thoughts and our feelings and our beliefs and all of that is not attached to anything. We are anchored. And that's why we use the anchor. We are anchored. We are anchored in our isness. We are anchored in source energy connected to the universe, consciousness. We are before and after the wave. What comes in and what goes out, it doesn't matter. Because we are that which matters. And we are not affected by external matter that don't. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. What's in here, our self-identity, again, we'll go over this, is not our physical form, and it's not our materialism, it's not our education or lack of. It's got nothing to do with what you've got or what you have. What you've had and what you will have. Who you are, and none of that dumb shit. Who you're with, where you are, where you've been, who you've been with. Irrelevant. Your self-identity, this is a thing that we'll get into this in real quick. It's like 70% of people that retire die. Just like this. What do you think happens? Let's use another one. In relationships, old people, when one partner dies, the other one normally dies very shortly after. What happens? What is with this anomaly, which is not an anomaly, it's because the human self-identity is based and rooted in their whole energy source, their whole belief system of who and what they are and what they aren't and who they aren't is rooted in irrelevance, rooted in something that is not them. So when they stop doing it, they die. You're not your job or lack of job. You're not your education or lack of education. Do you understand? You're not your materialistic matter that you've accumulated through hoarding. And you're not even the charity that you give. You could be a worthless piece of shit that is a regret to everyone that they know. Or you could be a useful gratitude that people are so grateful that they know. Okay? Even that which you do to another or don't do, it is relevant. Your self-identity is the soul, it's the energy, the essence, the God particle, that which inhabits this human form. And I don't want to hear your bullshit. I don't care. You're here to listen and learn. If you have a problem with this, well, one, you'll find out when you're dead, because there is no equalizer like death. And number two, your body, alive and dead, momentarily you can measure them both, weigh them both. Your body becomes lighter upon your death. The only thing that changes is you're no longer inside yourself. So that is your self-identity, is your consciousness. Now, when you are unconscious, you're cut off from source, that which you are. Your highest self, your divinity, whatever you want to know. And if, like the great old saying, you really want to scare the shit out of yourself, you'll never know God until you know yourself as God. People panic at that. What you have to understand is you are not this. You're not even the brain that's inside of this, the computer that runs it. And that's how people can go from one place to being a totally different, elite, enlightened human being upon following a a certain structure of enlightenment activities. And by not doing a bunch of idiotic, worthless shit that makes you unconscious, primitive, and worthless. Amazing, right? You can become enlightened and evolve by doing this, and this, and by not doing that, and that. It's never been simpler, and most people overcomplicate it and clusterfuck themselves out of being able to do it. And it's impossible, it's hard, I can't. Number one, let's just use health and fitness. Look, we understand, and a lot of people don't, but we don't pity you. We won't play into the evil ego that's keeping you in this clusterfuck situation of unhealthiness, okay? It's called tough love, without being abusive. But we get it. I can't. I don't want to. Your emotions, you're a slave to unhealthiness. That's what we covered the other day. That your body didn't betray you. You betrayed your body. Okay? The mind is a weakness because it is weak and untrained, and you've allowed it to be infected by infecting it with worthless shit. And you've cut yourself off from the cleansing or the you drink dirty water, you're going to get dysentery. Or you can go and detox yourself and then become clear. But if you keep drinking that same fucking water, what do you think is the reality that's going to be yours? Keep infecting yourself. Keep having dysentery. Keep being a piece of shit. Keep being useless. So we go through it and we can't teach you anything until you learn how to stop. And it's not that difficult. You just don't know how to do it. And learning how to do it is what you need to do. Stop having expectations, because expectations are the root of evil, and then evil fucks you over by giving you an expectation of how it should be to be free of evil. Like, you might put a great letter, you might write the most beautiful gratitude, the most loving, the most enlightened and useful and information on a piece of paper, and your intention may be to send it to everyone. But if that letter, first, has no address, it's not going nowhere. Second, you don't fucking send it, it's going nowhere. And third, if that letter is wrapped in evil, the envelope is evil, then it's going to poison and infect everything. And that's what we try to say. It's like, your intentions are important. If you have bad intentions, well, that's just worthless. But your intentions may be good. But if each part of the process isn't good, then you're still poisoning it. And that's where we go through the full ins and outs, top and bottom, back to front. Every element of this we go through. And we teach you how to be valuable. What to do, how to do it. And if you really need to know, why? And why not? Why do this, and this, and why not do that? We're not going to tell you, because most people are too weak. They're too slaves to worthlessness. We're not going to say, hey, go out and exercise. Of course you should do that. You know you should do that. Everybody knows that you need to move every single day, otherwise you deteriorate and just fall apart and you're useless. And we know that is connected to happiness and depression. If you move, you're happy. If you don't, you're unhappy. We know that if you eat healthy, you're happy. If you eat unhealthy, you're unhappy. You are what you eat, and you are what you do and don't do. So we're going to work over here out of the view of evil that you're a slave to, so that you can build up momentum. It's like, let's use fighting. We're not going to expect you to walk into a cage and have an MMA fight if you can't train, if you don't know how to fight MMA. You may even say, oh yeah, I'm tough, I know boxing. Look, that is not going to save you. Someone's going to grab you and is going to rip you from limb to limb because you don't know how to A, wrestle, you don't know how to B, defend yourself from somebody who does jiu-jitsu, and you're just going to get ground and pound. They're going to literally play with their food until they're finished. You're just, or vice versa. You're a jiu-jitsu guy and you're going to fight a striker and you don't know how to block. You must, that's the thing, why we use mixed martial arts as our example. Unless you are trained and you're just this could be cocky bastard or delirious kid that doesn't know any better and just goes into the cage and gets whooped, it's going to be a painful experience. And each single time, they're going to kick your ass again and again and again. You're going to get more embarrassed. You're going to get more humiliated. And the whoopings are going to get worse and worse and worse. Of course, you're going to quit. Of course, you don't want to keep going. Why would you? And when the opponent knows exactly what you're going to do, it's kind of unfair, wouldn't it be? We get it. Understand everything that you're going through. But that's the difference between us and everyone else. We know what's up. And what we're going to do is we're going to stop you beating yourself up for getting beaten up by yourself. Because people, it's just you versus you. The evil in here that's enslaving you, well, we're going to teach you how to beat it. And it's not going to be the way you think, but it's going to be the way that works. Instead, you're going to come over here and you're going to train. You're going to outsmart it. You're going to outskill it. You're going to become so lethal that you don't need to be lethal. See, when you learn how everything works, and when you master the skill of applying the right pressure at the right spot at the right time, you become limitless. You have no opposition. There is no voice in your head to betray you or deny you of anything. And when you have that self-belief, oh, imagine if you could believe in yourself. You, without needing anybody or anything else to prove, to vindicate, to prove wrong or right. When it is you believing in you, when you believe in yourself, you become limitless. And that's what we do, is we teach you how to do that. By doing this, and this, we train all forms. We train self-defense. We train how to move, when to move, why to move, why not to. And thus, when you come to the place of fighting in the ring, which is in here, they can't beat you because they gets you to destroy yourself. And when you stop destroying yourself and you start loving yourself, you start building yourself, you start improving, self-improvement, when you start loving that and encouraging and the gratitude and the self-promoting of going, yes, you've got this, And when you want to quit, there's the voice in your head saying, you got this, instead of quit, stop, don't, no, you can't, you're pathetic, you're a loser, you're a low-life piece of shit, you're nothing, no one will ever love you, you'll never be good enough, you'll never be able to do this, you'll never beat this. You'll always be this pathetic loser. Imagine the day that you become so great that greatness is you and you are it, and thus you are together because there is no separation. We get you there. But if you keep thinking that you can fight to win, there'll always be a war. That's why the war on this, the war on that, the war creates more war. There's no evolution out of this hate. You're going to use evil to stop evil, which only creates more evil. That's, if you could use the opposite, you're going to love somebody that loves you, creates more love. What energy are you using? What's your intentions? Are you primitive or are you evolved? Now we're going to go through all the little things that break you free without having to go into a cage and get your ass kicked. You're trying to use your brain, which is enslaved to evil, to set you free from the suffering of evil, which it does and creates. It doesn't work that way. Little things you can use is just, they're so simple. But you're going to have to stop doing the things that destroy you. We're not even going to go to the place because we want this to be a skill set that you've learned, not a fluke. Like if you want to use the law of attraction or universe, that's great. But wouldn't you want to know how to replicate it every single time? Wouldn't you want to know how to be happy every single time, no matter what? Doesn't even matter if you go to a darkest place that you can still come back to the light. Wouldn't that be the most important thing, is having the skill set and ability to go into darkness and not become darkness? So that's what we do. We go into the darkness every single minute of every day to go get people out. You would need the skill set, doesn't matter how bad it gets, to not let it affect you and for you to continue along your path and journey to help others. Anchored. So we're going to teach you that. Because if you don't have that solid foundation and you don't have those skill sets, what do you think the outcome is? Do you think it's a good one? Do you think it's one that's going to last? So you want it all to always last. You want this thing to constantly make you feel good. You're addicted to this thing that makes you feel good because you don't have the ability within you or the skill to feel good. You're constantly on this dopamine drug high. I do this to feel good. I do this to feel good. I do this so that I don't feel bad. I do this so I don't feel bad. It's insanity. So, a little recap. We're going to teach you a lot. We're going to go through every single element of all that is. Little things like consciousness, how to be conscious in all situations, how to master oneself in all situations. How does everything work, and how do we stop doing the things that destroy us? You can outwork it, but that's been stupid. We teach you how to work smart, and then how to work hard. So this idiocy of looking busy but being unproductive is kind of useless. knowing when to relax and to calm down and recuperate and heal is another thing. This whole bullshit grind until you die is literal. You need to stop and heal sometimes. You need to give yourself freedom to fall apart. You need to be able to take time and not hate yourself. Which is learning how to not burn yourself out. You gotta learn how to love yourself. And if you're trying to get over there without doing that, it doesn't matter what you got. It doesn't matter how you feel now. You literally wasted your life from that period, from there to there, hating, from there to there, unhappy, from there to there, unhealthy, from there to there, an evil, using and abusing, violent piece of shit. It doesn't matter what you got over there. It doesn't matter what you acquired or obtained. None of it matters. If you, from the journey from there, from here to there, was one of evil, well, you're too poor to pay the price. There is no payoff. There's a debt that you've got to pay, and you will. And the debt that you forced others to pay and suffer because you're too worthless to do what needs to be done when it needs to be done until it's finished. So there's a lot to learn how to be human successfully. There's a lot to learn before you become an elite master of consciousness. And we're just going to use this duality of if you keep de-evolving and doing the things that de-evolve you and the things that are unhealthy and negative and the things that are harmful for you and everybody else, if you keep doing these things and you don't stop, what do you think that the outcome is? What seeds are you planting? What are you creating this moment and the next for everyone else to be? Do you think they're worth anything? Do you think they're healthy? Do you think they're valuable? Do you think they're good? They're not. Let's use this. That little phone, are you a slave to it? What is the first thing you do in the morning? This is a great one. What is the first thing you do in the morning? See, what you do in the morning, this is through the life coaching, the master shit. What you do in the morning sets you up for the day. Now, if you touch that fucking phone and you open that phone, all over. You've now gone on those 2 tracks and you've neurologically cut yourself off. You've determined that I'm going to have a worthless fucking day. I am going to turn on the fucking switch to shit. Because in your brain, you don't get what you're fucking doing and not doing. You don't understand the duality, the cause and effects of reality. You don't understand by turning that stupid fucking phone on, by checking your messages, by going on social media, by doing anything except turning off your fucking alarm. Why is your phone on? Why are you on your phone? The average person uses their phone 8 hours in a day. Doing what? Making themselves primitive. Because the time that you spend on your phone is literally programming you, is literally de-evolving you, is literally taking your ability to be useful and productive and a master, not a slave. because you are literally programming yourself to be a slave to evil, to be useless, to have no self-discipline, no self-respect. You're going to dopamine junkie the shit out of yourself until you become so withered and useless that you have no ability to not use your fucking phone. You're just going to find yourself there like a zombie. You know why? Because you're a junkie. You're a slave to a phone that evil is using to render humanity completely fucking useless and unproductive. Yeah? Dopamine addiction, social media disorder, content addiction. If your life sucks, you don't need entertainment. That's why people can't watch good, positive, healthy stuff that is worthy. Maybe this conversation here, this sermon. But you can go watch some reality TV shit, some drama, some negativity. You can do that all day long. Oh, that addiction. Oh, please feed me more evil so that my evil can get its junkie high. Just like an alcoholic. Just like a bloody drug junkie. Like, you just keep doing the same thing. So if you can't be free of that, and what you do and what you don't do equals who you and what you are and what you aren't and what you can't and what you can't do. See, if you go off on a detox of your phone and you go off a detox of TVs, of laptops, of screens, just call it a screen detox, a social media detox. You go off, even music. All these simple things you might seem irrelevant, but you are actually dopamining your brain. And you're just rendering yourself completely useless and unable to get the healthy reward system from exercising, from eating healthy, from fasting, from doing something of value, of helping others. How are you supposed to when you have nothing left of value? You have no sensory reward left because you're a junkie. You're completely... You want to sit there on your bloody video games for what? Doesn't mean anything. It's not doing anything. You're getting good at what? Wasting time. Trying to live in an alternate reality because you can't master your own fucking reality, and you think that you're too weak, that the external world it's all made up in here. But the external world is so terrible, and you hate yourself so much that you're going to create an ultimate reality, and you're going to live in this fantasy fucked up world because you can't handle reality. You can't handle the world. And you believe the lie in your brain that's saying it's everyone else's fault. The bullies and blah, blah, blah. Why does the bullies affect you? They just hate themselves. So they hate others. Why are you not going, I'm going to spend the same amount of time it takes to master this fucking video game to master myself? Oh, I'm going to get good at fighting in this game. I'm going to get good shooting people. Why don't you go outside and do it? Not shoot people and fight people. But why don't you learn how to do that in real world? Why don't you learn to be good at martial arts? The art of self-mastery. Why don't you go learn to play airsoft? Why don't you go to a shooting range and learn how to shoot? Why is this world so hard for you? Why is being healthy so hard for you? Why is being active so hard for you? Why is not eating poisonous shit and not doing things that poison your brain so hard for you? It's not hard. Do you know why? Why would worthless things be so easy for you? And why would valuable things be so hard? Okay, let's use the worldly terminology of money. Why can't poor people do what rich people do? And let's use the bank account as our pockets or ourselves. That we are the thing that creates that wealth, or we are the thing that creates that ability to do healthy and meaningful and valuable things. And that's what we say. Are you the master or are you the slave? Do you have the ability to make a choice and you have no one in here stopping you from being able to do that? Or are you the slave that can't not do the thing that they know that they shouldn't do? They know that they should do this positive, healthy thing, this valuable thing, this loving thing to themselves and to everyone else, but they can't help but do the thing that is worthless, negative, hate, fear, evil to themselves and others. Again, what are you? And why is this a thing inside you? Why is this so hard for you? Like, why is it? Why is it so easy for you to fail at every single thing that is of worth and value that you want to do? Every relationship, every job, everything. In everything you fail. Everything turns out exactly the same. And the only way that you can get on with your life is by living in a delusion, unconsciousness. So all that has to happen is a certain amount of times evil gets to win, and then you just quit. And you say, okay, I give up. As long as I don't have to feel the pain. As long as I don't have to suffer, I'll be your slave. You can feed off me. You can abuse me. You can use me. I'll abuse others. I'll use others. I'll rape, I'll steal, I'll murder. As long as I don't have to feel the suffering anymore. As long as you don't hurt me, as long as I'm drugged out, as long as I'm in delusion, as long as I don't have to see it. And that's the thing of humans. As long as I am comfortable, you can do whatever you want. You can take all my free will away. You can feed off me, you can enslave me, you can imprison me, you can silence me. You can send me to war to murder other innocents, just in the same pawn game, while you sit here on your throne. As long as you're comfortable, right? As long as you think that, I have the excuse of it's my job. It's because I'm from here, or this is my job, or this is my career, or this is my country. This is my faith and belief. It's not yours. It's all made up. What excuse are you got? Are you coming up with excuses to stay down? Or are you coming up with reasons to rise? Are you going to play the poor me evil victim? Or are you going to be the aggressor and abuse and punish others because you are a slave? And you wonder why you're unhappy. Because you're fucking useless. You're worthless. You want some self-worth? Be fucking useful. Be of benefit. Sometimes being of benefit is not being there at all until you can sort yourself out. That's where we regress back to the very beginning of learning how to stop, learning how to jump on your own grenades, learning how to make others not pay the price because you are too worthless and too weak. Having the ability to stop is essential. And we work our way backwards. Yeah. We work our way from once we've destroyed things to apologizing and paying the price. Not because you got caught. No, because it's the honorable thing to do, that you're going to have to pay the price for what you've done. And then you need to take the burden of others for paying the price for you. Okay? So after you've gone psycho, after you've been a criminal and a worthless piece of shit, you're going to have to become conscious that that was your fault. And it's no one's fault that it was your fault except you. And that you must be honorable, because each thing you do to another, you first do to yourself. And that's why it's first the thing that you need to become self-aware and actually have value in yourself, that you're going to pay that price. You want to apologize. You're going to face up to the crime that you committed, in whatever form it is. Because if you keep being a coward and keep being a loser, you are not valuable. How can you be good enough if everything you do is worthless and you keep making more debt for others to pay for you because you're worthless? So it's going to take a lot of work, but you're worth it, aren't you? Right? At least be worth enough no one else has to suffer because you exist. At least be worth enough that you don't have to fucking suffer because that shit in there still exists. And you want to quit? You haven't even tried. You haven't tried. If you want to fucking quit, you are literally letting that in there beat you. So stop biting it. Stop trying to hurt it, because it just hurts you. Stop trying to hurt others because you're hurting in here. Wouldn't it be correct, if you are in pain, to heal? Wouldn't that healing be forgiveness? Wouldn't that healing mean, hey, how about we just stop hurting ourselves through others? Wouldn't this just be something of value to do? Like we said, you got to stop doing this, and this, and start doing that, and that. And that will equal what it is. And the more that we do this, the better that we get at that, the more momentum we build, the more habits and more neurological pathways we build inside of our bodies. But if you just stop doing the positive, it's what do you expect? And you keep doing the negative, what do you expect? It is literally so simple. So we just do little things over here, keeping it out of reach of the evil ego. Little things like, hey guys, if you brush your teeth with your right hand, we're just going to keep going to remember and just keep brushing with your left. You might not see that, and that's good, but you're going to do it. You're going to come to the conscious realization of what shoe you put on first. Put the opposite on. What thing you find is your favorite drink. We're going to transition from that favorite drink to something else. And I really hope you get out of the alcohol. Stop killing your brain. Stop trying to murder the evil in there by drinking it away. Because all you're doing, same thing with drugs, is you're getting a momentary reprieve from the suffering which it causes you. And that's why you drink, to become unconscious. That's why you take drugs, to be unconscious. So what you're doing is you're hurting yourself, which gets the ego, evil shit in here, high. And when it's high, it's fucking paralyzed and leaves you alone. And the suffering stops. And then it has its come down and hangover, and then you're going to have to pay the price double time. That's just what happens, guys. We do these little tiny things, little insignificant things. We alter it. So just by drinking, okay, we're going to change the drink. Hey, could be still alcohol, Could be still soda. You're just going to change it. And by changing it, you are by choice making the decision to make a new choice and stick to it. We don't try and make you stop drinking poisonous shit like soda and energy drinks and alcohol. Not at the start. We build up the momentum to be able to have free will, make a conscious choice, set forth your intention, and be able to follow through. And we just start building that momentum when you start moving. So once you start, I'm not going to use alcohol, just saying soda, you go from Coke to Pepsi, from Pepsi to Fanta, from Fanta to, I don't know, bloody lemonade. I don't know. And you build the momentum to have the ability to choose eventually, and then you go from soda, lemonade, to juice, from juice to sparkly water, flavored water, vitamin water, and then we eventually get to the place of water. And we stay there. It's really not that difficult. But if you try to go from drinking soda all day, every bloody day, to not drinking soda, you're going to piss off that little junky evil ego inside, and it's going to kick your fucking ass because you aren't trained. You haven't done the work, and you just expect it to go easy for you. It's dying. You are literally setting yourself free from evil. It feeds off the suffering you do to yourself and others. So when you cause it suffering by not feeding the bad wolf and feeding the good wolf, what do you expect? Psychopaths are going to be psychopaths, and they're going to take you down with it. So we do this in every element of everything. We want exercise. Okay, normally that's got to do with an inactive lifestyle. We're just going to move. We're just going to learn to move. We're just going to get up. And before we eat, we're just going to go for a walk. And what I call this is loving yourself while you hurt yourself. So if you smoke, okay, do an exercise. Each cigarette, 10 push-ups. If you're a girl, can't do a push-up, do a freaking burpee. If you're a guy, do squats. Girls, do squats. Drink 300 mils of water. But by the physical activity, what you're doing is you're loving yourself and you're trying to offset the thing. So here you are before you do the harmful thing, okay? This is you, so you're breaking even. You're not doing anything that gives you value. You're doing nothing, so you're even. But when you do the negative, harmful, hateful, abusive, evil little shit thing that you're going to do to yourself, you're going to be in debt. You're going to be worthless, okay? You're going to take. You're not going to give. So what we suggest is to not be in debt, is you break even. So you have a beer, you go for a run, and you drink a lot of water. Or if you're going to go drinking, work out before. Eat healthy before. Drink a lot of water and a lot of Gatorade before. Then you go out drinking, sure. Once you sober up, you go running again. Your cigarette, your soda, your whatever. And if you really, and you start small, 2 minutes, 10, 30 seconds. I'm going to do 30 seconds of burpees. Yep, I can do that. Anyone can do that. Yeah, right? Oh, you're that worthless, you're that weak, you're that pathetic of a coward that you cannot love yourself. That's all we do. We just start to bring consciousness, which is cure, into the habit of unconscious self-abuse, of evil, isness. And we inject in each moment positivity, love, value, and thus that's how we become worthy. Self-worth is by injecting value into ourselves. You want to be worthy? That's what it really is. You want to be good enough. You want to have someone tell you that you're good enough to love yourself. Self-worth. Believe in yourself. self-love, self-respect, self-honor. That's how we get there. That's how. By doing things that are valuable, that make us more valuable, more useful, more healthy, more loving, more positive, more inner peace, more enlightenment, self-worth. You want that self-worth and that self-respect and that self-confidence, whilst you do every single thing that guarantees you not to be. You hate yourself and not love yourself. So, keep doing your dumb shit. Let's start doing some smart shit. Build off that. Increase progressive overload, okay? Increase the time, increase the reps, increase the sets, and increase the intensity. And once you get to a point, you're going to feel better through the dopamine by the actual feeling valuable because you've done something worthwhile, and then thus you feel good because you've done something good. Do you see how that works? When you start to become useful, your happiness starts to increase, and then your brain starts to associate being healthy, positive, useful, enlightened, loving to that's how you feel the way that you get your dopamine. Being productive. Oh, wow. You have a little list. Write a list down. Call it the doing list, not the to-do list. Build your little communication inside your brain of momentum. You're doing this. Just tick it off. And if that goal is big, and you say, I can't clean my room, or I can't exercise, or I can't eat healthy, then stop. Then let's work on the offset, offense, defense. Let's not start throwing more shit on the floor. Let's instead, don't clean it up, but instead put the clothes in the basket. Don't pick up the dirty clothes, but just start to put clothes in the basket. Put the stuff in the bin. You understand? Stop making it worse is our basic thing. Stop making it worse. So if you can't make it better, just stop making it worse. Stop hating on yourself. Stop punching yourself in the face because you can't not do the thing that you don't want to do. Even though that you swore on your mother's grave that that's it, the last time, I'm never doing it again. And then 10 minutes later, you're doing literally the thing that you swore on your mother's grave, the thing that you love the most, and you can't not do it. Of course you're going to hate and hurt yourself. That's the whole betrayal of the brain, the evil inside of you. It sets you up to fail. And if you keep smashing your face against the wall, then what are you doing? You're punishing yourself. Evil doesn't even have to anymore. It doesn't have to hurt you. You're so programmed, you are hurting yourself. Now, imagine the sick fucking jollies that evil's getting. That it has you so fucked up. It has you so controlled. You have zero free will, zero self-worth, that you will actually abuse yourself for it. It doesn't even have to torture you anymore. You think humans enjoy it? Where do you think the humans are abusing other people? It's that evil inside of them that they're abusing themselves by abusing others. Because they got nothing left. That's why people hurt other people. It's because what's inside of them, there's no more love left for abuse. You can't hurt yourself anymore. There's nothing left. There's no soul left inside of you. There's nothing more for evil to take from you of value. So how does it feed off you? By taking the value of others. By hurting yourself, by hurting others. And this has been a long one, but it's been a good one. And It's not impossible. You're just doing the wrong thing. That's it. It's going to take effort. And it's going to take consistency. But if the thing that you're putting effort and consistency in is consciousness, then you have the cure. See, you can't do this shit once you're conscious. That's why we say, and really our foundation, our core teaching at isness, religion, church, whatever everybody want to call it, is consciousness is cure. Let's do this. You know that you should meditate, right? Well, do you know why? Do you know how it affects your brain and your ability to have self-control, and which separates you from evil ego? Do you know that? That your brain actually, they scanned people's brains before and after 8 weeks of meditation, and their brains completely fucking changed. Their abilities increase. You become a more capable and able and a more valuable human being. Okay? Let's break this down. Let's stop using the word meditation for a sec, but because people go, that's for the hippies or whatever. Fuck off, cunt. That is your ability to stop evil. That is your ability to hit the brakes, to have self-control over your mind. Oh yeah. People, that's impossible. It's impossible. Okay. Of course it's impossible. It's impossible because you are nothing but a slave to evil. Of course, not thinking is impossible to you. That you can't stop the incessant evil shit of no value or use whatsoever. Of course you can't stop that. Okay, so meditation. The act of intention, of isness, of it isn't you're trying to stop to think, or you're not trying to think. Do you know what I mean? There is no action or inaction. There is no nothing. Meditation is the form of just consciousness, by will, by choice. You have chosen to. And yeah, to have the willpower to just, the power, the self-power to choose at any instance to meditate. And it can be an inactive or active meditation. It can be through all these different ways. But why would you try and self-sabotage by doing the most impossible one, which is sitting there with your eyes closed and this you don't have to do that. You can't stop. The one that I hear the most is I can't stop thinking. Then I just think about that I'm constantly thinking, and I hate myself because I can't stop thinking. I get frustrated, and you go down this negative spiral. It's throwing diversions to get your attention so you keep thinking, so it doesn't lose control of you. So you keep staying weak. You keep staying weak because, I go to the gym, or I go to exercise, I'll go for a walk, I'll go for a ride, a swim, a surf, and it's like, I can't do this, I can't do this. What's telling you that you can't do it? Your brain will quit 1,000,000 fucking times because your body will move until it dies. The only thing stopping you is this worthless piece of shit in here that isn't trained, it isn't in control. You are the slave to it. It is not the slave to you. You are not the master. Everything's locked behind it. Everything. Until you start getting pissed off for fucking greatness and stop tolerating this ignorant bullshit from you and start holding yourself to a higher standard, what do you think is going to happen? Nothing. Nothing that hasn't already happened. You're going to stay in this fucked up reality, and you're going to keep fucking up everyone else's reality. Idiots. Fucking primitive. Get pissed off for greatness instead of pissed off to feed evil. Start holding yourself to a higher fucking standard. I can't meditate. You can breathe, can't you? Yeah, okay. Consciously breathe. Consciously count. Do something. That's it. What do you expect? Until that you have the ability to do what you want to do, when you want to do, how you want to do it, and stop having an expectation of others to do this fucking thing for you so that you can keep punishing them. What do you expect? Oh, I can't do it. Have you tried? Yeah, but I quit. How about you learn not to quit? How about that? That's our pain training. We're going to put you in a place of suffering. And you're going to choose that it's not suffering. You're going to choose that it's not. You are no longer the victim. You are the master, that you are the fucking elite master. You're going to evolve and ascend out of this shit. What do we mean by, if we can't conscious, blah, blah, blah. Count. Count your breaths. 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out. That time that you just did that because you can't do that and think. Conscious breathing. Okay, wow. Before we even overcomplicate it with holds and all these different techniques, we're just going to work on that. Conscious breathing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And you're just going to count your mind. You're going to use your mind. You're going to what? Distract it so that you get shit done. So you start building momentum. You start building that neurological pathway by actually